In this exercise, we will model a desktop stationery holder. So I've input these pens here. This is where you store pens, pencils, rulers and such. And it's quite a cool little piece to go on someone's desktop. This can all be 3D printed, by the way. How you 3D print this would be up to you, if that would be one piece, or most likely you'd be going for individual pieces here. But that's up to you and how you command that in the splicing software. If you do go ahead and 3D print this, please do send me a picture. I'd very much like to see. And I hope one day that I will 3D print this as well. If you want to model this part yourself, I've done some rough dimensions here, and that should be enough to enable you to model this. But aside from that, for the remainder of this lecture, I will continue to model this myself. So let's go into a new design. Instead of doing this as an assembly, so drawing all individual parts and then bringing them together, I'm just going to do this in one design. So first of all, I'm going to start with the base. Let's hit R on the keyboard then, rectangle tool, and let's do this on the XY plane. I'm going to start at the origin, so 2-point rectangle, bring that out. The dimensions are 150 width, press tab, and 80 on the height. Let's finish that sketch. E on the keyboard, extrude, and let's bring that up by, let's say, 10 mil. And let's add some fillets to that. Press F on the keyboard. We're going to drag select 1, drag select 2, 3, and let's get that fourth one in there as well. Fillet dimension, 5 mil. Press enter. That's looking good. And we can apply an appearance to that later. So we'll give that an earth-like appearance. Moving on, let's do the grass layer. So that, in this case, is the green layer here. Let's go create sketch and then select this face here. And to do this, we can just simply offset the perimeter of this box here. So come into modify, offset, make sure we've got chain selection turned on and select the edge there. We can bring that out, but not that big. Let's offset that by 2 mil, press enter. Looking good. Let's finish that sketch. Let's hit E on the keyboard and extrude. And we want to select two profiles, the one we generated here and the original one of the body down there. And we want to extrude that like so, but let's go for a distance of 5 mil. Now, this is going to have a different appearance to the kind of earth block below. Therefore, for the operation, I'm going to go new body, and just simply I can assign a green appearance to this new body. Come into our bodies folder. Yeah, we've got body 1, which will give the earth appearance, and body 2 will go for the kind of green grass appearance. Next, let's model in let's go for the actual stationery holder itself. So I'm going to hit C on the keyboard, circle tool, and I'm going to select this face here. I'm going to put that circle anywhere for the time being, and I'm going to give that a diameter of 50 mil, press enter. And then I'm going to offset that. So modify, offset, select that circle, pull that in. That should be the negative distance. Let's go for a wall thickness of, let's go for 4 mil for 3D printing. That will be strong. Let's press D on the keyboard and place this center point. Let's go center point then to the vertical on the left. And that dimension there is, let's go for 38 mil. And then center point to the top horizontal. Let's go for halfway, so 42 mil. Let's hit E on the keyboard and let's extrude that profile we made there. Let's bring that up and we'll extrude that by a distance of 80 mil. And operation, we could go for a new body as well, as this will be a different green appearance to the grass layer here. Press OK. We've got our 3 bodies in our bodies folder there. Let's create the head of this tube then. Let's go for C on the keyboard, and let's do that on this face here. And let's snap to the center point of this circle. Yeah, so it should appear there. Blue circle, click there once, so we snap there. Bring that out. Let's go for 60 mil. That looks okay to me. Yeah, let's finish that sketch. And let's hit E on the keyboard, and we'll select this profile here. We want to extrude down. Okay, something like that, except not too much. So this is a negative, so negative 15, press enter. It's looking nice. Okay, we've got a holder there for our stationery. And feel free to change any of these dimensions if you want this diameter to be bigger or positioned elsewhere. Yep, please feel free to do so. And let's tidy this up by applying some fillets. Let's hit F on the keyboard. Let's go for 1, 2. Let's go for 3 and 4 as well. For the fillet, let's make this quite discreet. Let's go for 1 mil, just tidy that up. I'm just going to turn off the edges, so it just looks shaded. There we go. Yeah, that's looking nice. Okay, let's put those edges back on then. Let's do the next feature then, which will be this cube and also the flagpole, flag itself. So let's do this on this face here. We're going to press R on the keyboard and select this face here. So we're in the rectangle tool, just going to draw in a rectangle, and I'm going to enter a width of 30 and a height of 30 as well. So square. Hit D on the keyboard, put this in position, select this line. Let's go to the right vertical, put that as 20 mil. And let's put in a constraint to lock this in place. Let's go for a horizontal constraint between this point here and snap on to the end point of this arc. This one here. There you go, that's fully constrained. Let's finish that sketch. Hit E on the keyboard then, select that profile. We're going to bring this guy up. And let's make this a cube. So let's go for 30, press enter. And maybe we could make this a different appearance as well. So if we right click on that feature, edit, let's go new body or so, press OK. Let's go ahead and do the flagpole then. So let's hit C on the keyboard, circle tool, select this face here. And I'm just going to put a circle in anywhere and we can constrain that in position. Diameter 6, enter. Let's use the horizontal constraint between the center point here and hopefully we can get the midpoint here. Yeah, so as you see, we snap on there, hold down shift on the keyboard, click once, that's good. And now it's constrained, so we cannot move it up and down, only side to side. So let's get this in the middle. Let's use the vertical constraint, center point, hover over, hold down shift, snap onto the center point, fully constrained, looking good. Let's finish that sketch. Hit E on the keyboard, let's extrude this profile here. And let's bring that up by 100 mil as per the drawing. Press enter, that's our flagpole. But again, I want to right click, edit feature, and make that a new body as well. We'll assign its own appearance. And then next up, we need to add the ball at the top of the flagpole and also the flag itself. So to do this, we need to sketch on a plane that's currently not there. In our original, so the default planes, we've got the X, Y, XZ, and the YZ. Okay, they're not in position we need. So we need to construct a plane. Let's hit the drop down under construction. And let's go on a mid plane and let's select this point here. This face here and this face here. We see that plane appear as a preview. That's correct. Let's press OK. I'm going to draw that out so you can see it a bit better. And make sure that is halfway. Yeah, perfect. Let's go and create sketch then. And let's select this plane here. And to do this, let's do the ball first. So I'm going to come under create. Let's do an arc and a 3-point arc, and hopefully we can snap on to the endpoints, but we can't. So let's hit P on the keyboard to project. And what we're going to do is we're going to project this circle here. Okay, so we have that projection line appear. Press OK. We should have a midpoint on there as well. Let's go back on the front view then. And let's come up to create arc, 3-point arc. We can see the 2 points. So this is the start of our arc. This is the end of the arc. Then we can bring that up. As for a dimension, up to you. I'm going to go for something like this. And I'm going to go for a L on the keyboard line tool. I'm going to snap on to the upper quadrant here. Snap on to the midpoint of our projected line. Okay, like so. And then we've got a profile here, which we can revolve. Let's finish that sketch. Let's go on revolve. We'll select this profile here. In terms of axis, we'll select this line we drew here. It's looking good. Definitely go on a new body here to make this like a yellow color. It's okay. It's looking nice. Let's go on the home view again. Yeah, we're getting there. Okay. And now let's go ahead and model in the flag. So it's up to you how you do this. You could create an extrude cut, like a slot or a slit in the flagpole here. And then you could mount in the 3D printed flag piece. But for the purposes of this exercise, I'm just going to draw in the flag, but up to you how you choose to assemble it. So let's create a sketch and let's go on the same plane, which is no longer visible. So let's go drop down next to construction and let's select plane 1. So drawing on the same plane again. I'm going to use the line tool and I'm going to select 1.2.3.4. Okay, that's looking good. Let's apply a vertical constraint to this line here. Let's also hit D on the keyboard. Let's dimension this line here. Let's go for 25. And let's hit D on the keyboard. And from this point to this point, let's do a distance on the x-axis. Let's go with 34 mil. That should work. Then we've still got some movement here. So we just need to tidy up these angles. Let's go for an equal constraint between this line and this line. I'll tidy that up nicely. And I'm just going to position this here. But again, if you create a slot in this flagpole here, and then what you can do is, after that's 3D printed, you could just insert it. Yeah, something like that. But again, for this example, I'm just gonna roughly position that here. Let's finish the sketch. And let's hit E on the keyboard. Let's extrude this profile. We want to extrude in both directions. So direction, let's go symmetric. And let's do a whole length of, let's try 2 mil. That's a bit too thick. Let's go 1.5. Actually, let's knock that down to 1. Okay, so just going for 1 mil. Press OK there. Okay, I think that's sufficient as a flag. And now we can go ahead and tidy this up by applying a decal. So let's come under Insert. I can hit the drop down, select decal. And then you can insert the Mario flag decal. So I will add this as a downloadable resource. So feel free to download it and you can use it as you like. So I'm going to select that. It's under my project folder. Press Insert. In terms of face, this one here. I don't want it to be chain faces, so we just want it on the one face. And I'm just going to tidy this up, rotate that 90. Let's go on the front view. And I'm going to scale this up and position that. Okay, that looks good. Press OK. Yeah, preview looks fine. And feel free to do the same on the other face as well. And next, let's add in the piranha plant, which I've got in my design just sitting down here. So I've drawn this in another software. It is available as a step file, as a downloadable resource. So feel free to download and use that. And to insert that into this design, let's come into our data panel. And where you store that within your project. So here I've got it called Mario, well, it should be piranha plant, but Mario flycatcher. Right click, insert into current design, just like in an assembly. And there we have that part there. I'm just going to chuck that roughly there for now and rotate that. Go for 90 degrees, press OK. I'm also going to chuck in a pen in there as well. So I've called this CEO pen. Okay, insert into current design. And I'm just going to lift that up. And let's rotate this slightly as well. Let's go 90 degrees. It's OK. Close down the data panel. We can just tidy this up. So we could apply a joint here. Let's go J on the keyboard. And let's select the center point of this circle here. Left click once. And let's select this point here. Then we can adjust it manually. So I'm just going to roughly place this into position. Okay, something like that. Let's press OK there. And for the pen, I'm not going to do a joint for this, but I'm going to come into my browser and where we've got the part, right click, and then we're going to select Move Copy. Then we just roughly move that into position. Let's go on the top view. Okay, yeah, something like that. So yeah, I've included both these as downloadable resources, so feel free to download both step files and you can insert them. And then the only thing left to do is to apply some appearances. So let's start off with the sphere at the top here. Let's hit A on the keyboard. And for this, I'm going to come under Paint, Glossy, and then just going to apply yellow, enamel glossy yellow, and just bring that over. Make sure we got body selected. Okay, select that body there. That's looking good. Let's also do the flagpole as well. So I'm going to stay in Paint. I'm going to go for the white here. Select that body there. That's looking good. Let's do the tube here. So for this, I'm going to type in LED. And if we come down, we've got our LEDs here. I'm going to go for green in this case. Okay, drop that on that body there. And then for the grass layer here, let's go ahead and let's just apply a paint green. But this is too dark for my liking, so we can change that. Feel free if you like. I'm going to right click on that. I'm going to select Edit. And then within my options here, I'm going to move the shader slightly more towards the yellow. Something like that's quite nice. More of a green grass appearance. Press Done. And then for the earth-like color, which will go on the lower block there, and also this cube here, let's assign another color here. So let's add blue up here, then apply this to the block and also to the earthy compound below. Let's right click on that and edit. And let's adjust this. So more of an earthy kind of brown color somewhere over here. That over here. Yeah, something like that. I think that's okay. Feel free to play around with those as much as you like. And there we have our complete model. I think that looks quite nice. Let's turn off the lines then. Let's just go shaded. I think that looks really nice. Hope you enjoyed that lecture, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.